What's up and welcome back to the channel. The name is Ninja Knight. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads. Check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel and consider joining the channel today. Thank you to everyone who supports. So first up, what I wanted to do is I wanted to show this image just to give a bit of context to this video. So this is an image of Son Heung Min, and he has served, from what I understand, in the South Korean army. So when you're thinking about this and you're saying to yourself, wow, he served in the army, he must be a tough guy, definitely going to be someone that's able to take any sort of punishment or any and all sorts of punishment. And because of the army and the way they deal with things, he should be mentally strong with the way he deals with things. However, we fast forward to today and we see this incident, and this incident has to be laughed at and it has to be mocked. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying that I think this incident, and particularly the criticism that he's facing online, is going to spur on, see what I did there, spur on a sort of comment from Tottenham Hotspur in the next day or so, that they're going to say that this player was subjected to certain types of abuse. This is something that teams want to constantly peddle and push out after bad defeats and after bad behaviour by players, and particularly when you see a player that doesn't apply themselves into a game the way they should. They always default back now to the fact of, oh well, fans were abusive towards this player. This guy started the trend on Twitter, and it started the trend with the actual tag cheating, and particularly because of the way he went down, a lot of people did see it for what it was. Now, I was luckily looking at this match, and I like to look at them like this, on a channel that had no artificial crowd noise, and the screams from this guy were absolutely diabolical. From a man that has served in the army to basically be flicked in the face the way he was, to go down and to be screaming and to roll around for 3 minutes with players gathering around him asking if he's okay, and then deciding to harry the referee into a decision that was completely and utterly incorrect. You're starting to see a problem within the game, and there's something needs to be done about this. The cheating levels that are going on, particularly within the leagues, and particularly because a lot of fans aren't at the grounds anymore, and because with the likes of VAR playing a big role like it did today within the disallowing of the goal for Edinson Cavani that was wrongfully disallowed, you're starting to see fans really wake up and see what's going on, particularly with the behaviour of these players. If you want to go as far as saying that this was a foul, I will take that on board, but I will say this. Son wasn't getting the ball unless he decided to foul McTominay, and the ball was moved on to other players before the goal was scored. So I can't understand for the life of me how a referee has then adjudged this to be a foul and for this to have some sort of overall effect on a goal. It's not possible in my opinion. So when you're looking at this, there was a various other amount of things that went on before United scored a goal, and case in point should have been Spurs should have defended better, not running around worrying about this guy pretending to be injured on the ground, which I think is laughable within itself when you see that he was serving in the South Korean army. What needs to happen from here? Well, we've had this similar debate and similar talk when this happened with Lacazette not too long ago, when he went down screaming and then subsequently I think got a yellow card, or was subsequently then fined for that incident, and I think rightfully so, because it'll stamp that sort of nonsense out. Because the problem with this is this: when you've guys going down like this, pretending like they have serious injuries, it's then going to come a cropper at some stage where someone is going to have a serious injury, things are going to be played on, and then people are only going to realise after the fact that a serious injury has occurred. I can't believe some of the screams that I hear from players week in, week out, particularly now because I'm watching it without the sound. It's unbelievable stuff. These guys would want to have a look at, say, Gaelic football, for example, and see how some of those guys carry themselves. There'd be all sorts going on within those games. Off-the-ball incidents, wrestling, punching, all sorts that happen within those games. And you do not see these fellas running around and rolling around then, screaming the way that these guys do. It's an absolute embarrassment. And I have to say, if I was a member of Tottenham Hotspur, or if I was a member of the coaching staff, the team, or even Son Heung Min himself, I'd be coming out with an absolute full-hearted apology saying, sorry about this, not going to happen again. This is a disgraceful thing to happen within the game, and this is as bad as the diving, because this was diving within itself, because a goal was scrubbed in effect because he got flicked in the face. I cannot believe that this is happening in 2021 and that a referee then decided of his own accord to go over and disallow a goal due to the fact of this. This is where we've gotten now. We've gotten to a place where fellas playing football now aren't being pandered to. They're pandering to this nonsense rather than saying get up and get on with it and just laughing at this fella. The best thing to do with this is mock it, to laugh at it, and this is something that this guy is definitely going to have to live with, because I have to say that this is really, really disgraceful from a footballer, and particularly from a professional footballer, alleged professional footballer. The fact that he served in the army has only made it even funnier, because he should be well able for all sorts. Yet he gets flicked in the face by McTominay, goes down, screams, rolls around for 3 minutes, and then gets a goal disallowed. It's hard to believe. This is also a guy that people will lead you to believe is a really nice guy in football. This fella's involved with loads of different off-the-ball tactics and loads of kicking fellas and stuff. So I wouldn't say that this guy is as nice as pie, because they like to portray him in that sort of manner when he's anything but. So what needs to happen from here? The Football Association, the FA, the Premier League need to convene, need to come together and need to say to themselves, right, this is what we need to do. You've started to be in this sort of frame of mind where fellas are afraid now of the likes of head injuries, for example. Players need to play on now when someone goes down. If someone's going down and they're acting the clown like this guy, play on, and if a goal's scored, that's on you. That's a problem for you. This idea of fellas going down and rolling around the ground and play being stopped and balls being kicked out needs to end at this stage. Unless there's a very serious incident that's occurred, then and only then do I think that the play should be stopped. But you're looking at an incident now that is starting to become more part of the game every week. There's guys doing this sort of stuff every week, and it's halting games, it's halting play, and it's not attractive to look at. And it's also then, as a manly sport, and what's supposed to be a manly sport, when you think back to the likes of John Giles and George Best and Eric Cantona, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, these great names that would have played the game at a very crucial, hard time and would have been very tough players themselves, to look at this sort of nonsense and be looking at it and actually look at a referee from 10 feet away, decide to make a decision on overturning a goal due to a guy being flicked in the face, it really does have to beg the question of what's going on in this game. This game is not basketball, and basketball, even in with itself, when you go over and look at the NBA, for example, is very physical. But what they're looking to constantly do with soccer is become less physical and become as least physical as possible. And that's not a way to go going forward, because this is a man's game at the end of the day. It should be played by men, and fellas like McTominay here that are able to run with the ball and move fellas off should be applauded rather than being punished. And instead then you're getting a guy like this, like Son Heung Min, that's going down cheating, and that's actually been given the award, and then later on then scores a goal, which could have had a very big effect within the game. It was just fortunate that United played well, particularly in the second half, and got themselves going and got the win then. It was even sweeter then to see that. And aside, I'm going to say as well, is it's quite interesting, particularly when you look at Spurs, because Spurs are considered a fairly big joke as a football club. This is added to their tally of being an absolute joke. And even more so, I think, then 6 minutes from the end, Gary Neville names the man of the match. 6 minutes to go. At 2-1 up, he's like, yeah, game's over. That goes to show you the type of mentality people have about Tottenham Hotspur, and that's why the club are engaging in things like they are here. So anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell up above for future uploads. Check out the links posted in the description down below to support the channel. Consider joining the channel today. Keep laughing at this, absolutely hilarious to see, and I'll talk to you later. Good luck.